So today's video, since I'm changing the second front tire on my tractor, I thought I'd cover this issue of studs in your tractor tires versus chains. Now, I bought these studs 2 years ago. They're not very long, and put them in the fall of 2021. And they seem to work really good, even though they were not as aggressive as chains. They're not as good as chains, but chains right now are over $2,000, and these studs were roughly about 250 bucks. So running them for the first winter, it was really good. I had them staggered in the back and in the front of the tractor, and you can still see the ones in the back. They are still in good shape. Some are pushed in, but these are the length of them. Basically, you have a lot of head sticking out and not much screw going in the tire. So like I said, they did work in icy snow conditions, better than nothing. Not as good as chains, but then again, they're not as expensive as chains. So what had happened is last year, now I don't know, and I'm probably going to say that just like chains, you take them off in the summer. So there's a little screw head there, and they come with a tool, and you can attach that and unscrew them. So I kind of got lazy and I didn't bother. And these seams ones in the back seem to be holding up fairly well. But I guess when you run them in the summer and you're on hard ground like rocks, gravel, they want to go pushed in. So this isn't a review blaming the company. I think it's a decent product for the price. But last year I had to change this front tire to a new tire because they had actually driven right through inside the tire, which I'll show you on this one. Today is the day that I changed this front tire. Luckily they're skid steer tires. They're the same size as skid steer tires, so they're not that expensive, about 140 bucks Canadian a piece. And the other tires that are on a Coyote, the Coyote was known for dry rot. I'll show you that as well. So it's not like a total disaster that this had to be done, but I don't know if you can see right there, they're starting to push through. And there's no tubes in these tires, so of course when they start to push through, they're toast. But I bought whole new tires just because of the fact that you can see on this one, let me slim it down, there is dry rot on there. So I was going to go tube and then save the tires because they still have lots of tread on them. Unfortunately, the other one, a family member was driving the tractor and it popped off the wheel and got chewed up. The bead got chewed up. So basically, are these good? Yes. But with the fronts, they're all jammed in there, and I'm thinking it's because it's spinning. The fronts are spinning when you're working in non-snow conditions on rock and different hard surfaces, and they're being pushed through. So there's one that's way in there, right there. So on review of the studs, yes, they work, price accordingly, but you pretty much got to take them out. Now, I don't know if getting them out is an option once they're worn a bit. Let's go back and look at the rear ones again. I'm not going to put them in these new front tires. I might put them on the very edge. Obviously, here is the thinner part. They're not through now, but once they get pushed through, they're going to go through. So if I put them in these front tires, it'll be in the fall, and I'll take them out. It's a lot of screws to mess with, to take out and put back in. And you can see the heads are pretty rounded off. It'd be a bit of a fight. So yes on the rears, no on the front. And like I said, these are only, I don't know, 10 millimeter deep. But like I said, the head on them probably needs to be made bigger so they don't get, this is a new one of what I've got on those front, and it pushed right through the rubber. So anyways, there you go. These are made in Quebec. I don't know the name, and I'm not condemning the company that made these. I probably was supposed to take them out, and so like I said, they were fine in the winter. They would not push through, but it was only when I started running them in the summer that they started disappearing into the treads. But anyways, so that's our review of tire studs for your tractor. I have these on my Kioti side-by-side on the track kit because, of course, it's a track like a snowmobile track. There's no air. Yeah, there's never been a problem with the track kit on that because there's no air in them. And they don't go, I don't run that in the summertime, the track kit. I take it off, of course, put those wheels on it. Get that to focus. I guess it doesn't want to. There you go. Put those wheels back on. There's no studs in them, of course, because I don't run them in the winter. But so yeah, studs, yay or nay. I guess there is no substitute for chains, but you can come close with these. But like I said, don't leave them in the summer. So it's basically up to you. All right, that's it for today. So I dug up some of the ones that are in this tire that went through. Apparently I bought two different kinds. This one here was for my Kioti side-by-side with the track kit on it, with that skirt flange to keep them from going in too deep. And then now that I've pulled these out, I've kind of remembered they did not have a flange around them. There's your nut head, which is pretty worn out, and there was no flange to keep them from being embedded or piercing the tire right through. So maybe that's a bad design by the company. The carbides are in great shape after almost 2 years. We're not even worn at all, but the heads on the tips are almost round. So these came out, but I can't see you doing that more than once. So that explains why they pierce through the tire, because they do not have a skirt on them. These were bought, I think they're a little bit longer than these. These ones were specifically for the like snowmobile tracks. I don't know why they wouldn't design the tire ones the same. Why would they let them be like a spear, basically, to be pushed through the tire? Anyways, yes, take it as you will. If you put studs on it, make sure they have a skirt on it like that, and not have no skirt, because they're just going to push right through the tire. All right.